Sounds good? Sounding good. Yeah. Hey, have you heard of a thruffle? A thruffle? Thruple? Oh, my sister-in-law was telling me about a thruple. That's a couple, but with the third one? What do you think about that? You're into that? Man, I can't handle one half the time. You giving me another one? I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat. Happy Tuesday. How you doing out there? I said the right name of the show today. That helps when you do that. Hey, we're the fastest growing financial advisor in America, and I appreciate you guys watching here, hanging out with us. We're going to cover the stock market today and all kinds of good stuff. We do all sorts of good things for our clients, but for you guys, the public, you also have FinTips videos that are live. Well, not live, but they're posted Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe have some more good stuff coming for you. And we do classes for clients, notes from Jazz, emails. We just want to keep you updated. We're the advisors that have no other hobbies or anything. You know, we just kind of do the markets all the time. And that's who you want managing your money there. So I hope you keep us in mind. jazzwealth.com if you'd like to learn more. And this Thursday, if you're one of our clients, we've got a class coming up. Buckley, tell them what's coming up. What is it?
Wine and Wealth, a show produced exclusively for our clients here at Jazz.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool there. I don't know, man. That's something neat. Well, I messed it up there, but that's pretty cool. So we'll be doing Wine and Wealth. We're talking about return on capital this week. We're going to go through all kinds of cool things and talk about that. So I hope you'll join us there. Also got a new research post up there. We got another one coming as well. If you're interested, you can check out our jazzwealth.com. Up at the top is a research site you can check out. It's $13 a month if you don't want to be or can't be a client here of Jazz, but you still want some of the geeky details. Today, it went up this morning, we talked about a detailed look at the pattern of gold. There's something interesting happening with gold there, so we went into a little bit more detail and showed how to project out targets as well if you believe in the technical pattern of gold. Let's talk about the markets here today. Housing was the big focus to start the day. I don't know if you saw the housing numbers that came out there, but the housing numbers missed. We've got new construction and permit numbers that came out. They're pulling back, which is weird, so you'd have to blame it on lumber, the cost of lumber. But if people are really willing to bid, 3 times higher than the cost of the home and, give their dog and stuff to bid on a house, then you would think they'd be willing to pay for the lumber. So little concern there. That hurt the markets at least initially. Otherwise, we had good earnings coming out, as we have. Companies like Walmart, Home Depot, and more reported earnings that were actually really, really good. We'll cover that. But the housing stuff, that's what kind of hurt us to start the day. If you take a look over at the stock market, you got the Russell 2000 it again tried to go positive right there towards the end of the day, but everything sold off again. It was the first and only one to recover off of its lows, but not looking good where it stopped here today if you were looking for the markets to head lower. If we look at the Dow, this one was the weakest nearly all day long, mostly thanks to a couple different names here. We got Chevron. Energy stocks were really weak. We'll talk about that in a second. You had Caterpillar and a handful of others that just pulled back off of their highs. Not saying there's anything wrong there, but the Dow is sitting around 11% year to date. Just today wasn't a good one for it. If you look at the Nasdaq today holding on to a year-to-date gain of about 3% overall. I would say if you're looking at the Nasdaq, then today it gets the award for, well, at least it didn't sell off, right? I mean, because the Nasdaq's been getting beaten down quite a bit. And today it held its own right until the last 10 minutes of the day. If you happen to be looking over the last 10 minutes of the day, everything pretty much sold off for the day. So that's okay there, but the Nasdaq getting beaten down just a little bit. And finally, we'll go over to the S&P 500. It's about 11% year to date. It lagged all day, thanks to just a handful of names. AT&T continuing to sell off on their deal with the Discover merger that we talked about yesterday. Chevron, another one. Beer companies, really across the board, were weak today, but you got Molson Coors down 4 1/4. And if I were to just go through some of the other names, Western Digital giving back some of its gains over the last couple days. You had T-Mobile in there down about 4%, kind of pulling back a little bit. Home builders naturally had some weakness today, Dr. Horton being one of them. And then some of the, some of the other ones. You got Pulte Homes in there as well. And then just a handful of financials, some semiconductors, some of the other smaller trading institutions like T. Rowe Price, Schwab, and things like that. Retailers like Ross Stores, just a handful of weakness across the board if you were looking. Just feeling like this market is wanting to give you a bit of a pullback here, and hopefully this is the case. Do we have a lower high here. That's what we're setting up for right now. That's what people saw there towards the end of the day. If we go over to the sectors for the day and take a look and see how things are going, healthcare back on track, right? It was decent until the end of the day. It did sell off a little bit. It was and is holding near the highs there. It's up 10% about year to date. CVS hit new highs, got a new CFO. That was the biggest contributor to healthcare here today. United Healthcare is another notable name. It held up, right? It was about a 0.5% gain on the day, but all in all, it was a pretty broad rally if you're looking through the healthcare stocks. Amgen did sell off, but most of the names did okay up until that last 10 minutes or so. Everything just kind of gave it up. Energy was the weaker spot today here. It's up 44% now year to date. So if this pulled back even just 10%, do you care? Right? It's okay. It'll give you an opportunity there. But energy, one of the weaker ones there. Look, it was ExxonMobil, Chevron. Those were the two names that were the biggest drag. 3% down on Chevron. ExxonMobil basically 3% as well. And both of them right at kind of a double top area. If you're looking at ExxonMobil, I'll leave the cursor, there, so you can see the same concept going on with the energy stocks. Almost every name was down in the energy space today. Consumer discretionary was up to start the day, at least to start, and then just gave it up, man. We got a slight pullback here. Tesla actually held up. So Tesla kind of trying to hold that 200. I think if the markets pull back, Tesla's going to go with it. Little recovery there, but you got Amazon. That one was weak today. Got to deal with MGM, possibly $8 or $9 billion to buy out MGM and all their movies, their whole archive, really. Just kind of crazy there. So that one was a bit of a drag. And you had Home Depot pulling back on earnings, about 1%. Actually good earnings, but that continues. Now, earnings season's basically over here, but we have been seeing that. Good earnings, stock sells off. Good earnings, stock sells off. What's up with that? That's a little bit weird there. So you've got that going on. And the consumer discretionary space, by the way, up about 6% year to date. It's shaved about half of that in just the last 1 month. This pullback has given back about half the year's gains already. Got to go to real estate. That, I believe, was still your best performer for the day. Just barely was your best performer in terms of being positive. It continues to do well. It's up 16% year to date, but it's mainly the commercial REITs that are helping. That's not a good sign there. Let me show you here real quick. If we take a look at a handful of the different positions that are inside of the XLRE, here's the problem we have. So we've got, I put them in black, right? The better performers there, just to make them stand out a little bit. Avalon Bay, Simon Property, CBRE Group, Kimco Realty. What do? Physical real estate, right? You've heard of Simon Property, likely. Avalon Bay, we covered the other day. So you've got these physical real estate, residential, commercial spaces doing well and leading the way year to date, right? The digital REITs, tech REITs kind of stuff, they've been lagging behind a little bit, but just right now, they're starting to wake back up. So if we could get that, now you have a recipe for a sector that could be a real contributor here and get up to that 20% mark. But that's where you stand right now. Everybody played the reopening play, and now they've got 30, 40, 25% profits. Is there a reason that they could take profits? Is the market starting to get heavy, which causes people to take some of their dough off the table? That could be one there. Not typically known in real estate for doing that, because people tend to be buy and holders there. But if you look at PLD today, we're going to go through the digital REITs. Up about 0.7% on the day, not too bad. American Tower also coming off the 50-day, just a slight gain on the day, which is not bad considering the markets were lower. And Crown Castle up about 0.4% on the day. Gold. Yeah, I would say it. Gold continued its run here today. Broke this downtrend the other day. We covered a detailed sort of breakdown in the research site, but continuing just a little bit there. It's double digits off of its lows here, and not bad. I mean, it's trying to continue, and I'll argue that that was a pretty good day given what the markets and a lot of commodities in general did today. If you look at silver, I did compare silver in our research post as well, how that's holding up a little bit better, very near highs, continues to outperform gold, and so we'll see what happens. Also, oil pulled back today about 1.5%, hinting at a breakout, unable to get it started. We talked about that yesterday as well. New highs, there's actually 44 of them. The number is going to come up wrong, I believe, but you've got 44 new highs. Many of them closed down on the day. So just like the markets, well, kind of. But they hit new highs and then finished lower. Market tried to recover, finished lower on the day. You got Newmont Mining in the gold space there. This one actually finished positive. This is a gold miner participating very much so in the move here off lows with gold. It's just Newmont's already at highs. It's extended a little bit here. May want to give that a little bit of a break. Nucor hit new highs, also extended, recently above $100. That's a rapid rally there. So it hit new highs. What do you expect? You know, you can't expect to see it continue to hit new highs all the time. Kinder Morgan also hitting new highs, but closing lower on the day and extended. So I'm just trying to illustrate what's out there in terms of new highs. That list of new highs, great place to find new opportunity, but you also want to use it for when it's time to maybe sit back just a little bit and hold out for something once it calms down, pulls back, becomes a little less overbought, things like that. And Baker, we talked about yesterday as well, hit new highs again, and then once again pulled back. And can you believe this one? This one did not pull back. Norton LifeLock, through the Colonial Pipeline issue and all that, still another 1.5% gain on the day. This is pretty impressive, right, for them. All right, stocks in the news. Let's see what we have here for the day. Did you see Fisker? Oh, I'm sorry, FSR, not FSK. So FSR, Fisker is the company here. They make electric cars like Tesla and such. They reported a $176 million loss. They were versus $86 million last year. So they're losing more money, right? They lose about 63 cents a share. Stock's still higher now, right? It had a good day, up 8.7%. They reported revenue of $22,000. That's not a typo. $22,000 was their revenue. That's what they made there. They said, don't worry about it. We have 16,000 reservations, people that want to buy our cars. Okay, we have a lot of people on our wait list here at Jazz because we're not technically open to new clients. That doesn't mean they're all going to be clients, right? So 16,000, you only have 22,000 in revenue. I didn't think it was a good thing there. They say we're going to be the luxury but at volume car maker. Didn't Tesla try that? Didn't Tesla try that? Learn a valuable lesson back in the day? You know, come on there, guys. They're already moving on to their second model, even though they don't have the first model really ready to go yet. And they said, hey, our operating expenses, their costs basically, we expect to be about $30 million higher than thought. But that's worth a 9% pop in the stock price today. I don't know. I mean, I wish them well. I do like some of their models if they do become true, but we'll see. Kodak, remember them? You see that big spike on the screen there? That is the move that happened when they had that deal with Trump last year to help out with the COVID issue, right about late July. Yeah, pretty much right in there. Well, that was kind of sparked because of that news announcement, but just before that, the company and one of their executives decided that they were going to buy some stock. Right? They got a $760-something million deal with the government. They said, we're just going to buy some stock ahead of that, and then we may just sell it when the thing pops there. Well, the New York Attorney General is coming after them, right? So they're going after them for insider trading. The stock, I believe, was halted numerous times today. It's not good. It's not good for them. But anyways, that was in the news. Not the main headlines, but that was in the news. Walmart. All right, so Walmart reports earnings here. Not too bad, right? E-commerce sales up. Everything looking pretty good for them. What did we come out with here? Beats by 48 cents. That's double digits there. Stronger revenues raises guidance going forward. They said people are spending money thanks to stimulus and wage improvements or increases there. And so it's benefiting them. Stock was nicely higher on the day. And the headline focus was that Walmart Plus, yeah, it turns out it's doing well. People are going for that there. Get your deliveries and everything from Walmart. All right, other stocks in the news. Home Depot, the bane of my recent existence here, beats on store sales by 31%. So people are just spending tons of money. Their earnings was up 26%. They didn't give any guidance going forward, but people are spending money. And more particularly, they said people are spending big money. So they're spending the higher dollars. Now, I would be one of those. Bought some kitchen cabinets through there, people, and went through Home Depot. And I'm going on 6 months now without the correct kitchen cabinets. See, it's like 2.5 months until they can deliver the cabinets. But then when they deliver the wrong cabinets, you have to wait 3 more weeks until they can deliver the right ones. Well, when 3 weeks passes and they deliver the right ones, but they just send the same ones they sent the first time, well, that's another 3 weeks you have to wait. And when you call them and you say, hey, it's been 6 months since I've had cabinets here, and we're just trying to get this thing done so we can get countertops installed next week, they actually laughed and said, that's not going to happen. It's going to be at least 3 weeks until we can get you your cabinets, that we messed up twice. So I wonder if there's not just a ton of volume going through Home Depot, and now we're getting sloppy, guys, right? Getting a little bit sloppy there. I won't get fired up today. Let someone say something political so we can get off the Home Depot topic. And Domino's Pizza, Bill Ackman, I think, has just over 2 million shares. It's old news that he's involved in the stock. It's new news that we know exactly how many shares he has according to his filing there. So that's the stocks in the news. Feel free to ask questions if you have any questions here. I'll cover a few more things while the stream is catching up there. Wells Fargo, a handful of other stocks in the news. Wells Fargo falls 2%. Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett says sold just about all of his shares in the bank there. Twilio's buying another texting company. There we go. So Twilio is buying ZipWhip, I think it was. Yeah, ZipWhip, about $850 million there. Macy's reported earnings. I believe they did pretty good. They made 38 cents versus losing 47 cents, raise their guidance going forward. They're seeing the consumer come back as well. Coinbase, which is down over like 40% and then some from its highs there. They are going to raise $1.25 billion in convertible notes. They're raising money because everybody is excited about Coinbase, even though it is falling there. So there you go. Oh, Baidu also. Baidu, I didn't go over Baidu, did I? They reported earnings as well. Earnings better than expected. Revenues better than expected. Guidance was flat, I guess. Pretty much just in line with every expectation out there. Could this be a bottom in Baidu there? We'll see. Let's see what questions you have, huh? You happen to have some questions? How about that Home Depot? Don't get me started on that Home Depot, man. What are you doing over there? What are you doing? What do you need to do if you want to sell options contracts to make a living? Asking for a friend. Start with a decent balance there. I actually did a class for clients where we went through the exact model, like exactly what would you do. Contracts, position size, theta decay. You could choose your deltas, but went through that whole thing there. But you want to start with a decent amount of money and you want to start incredibly small. Prove to yourself that you can actually do it and go through a few cycles and stuff before you get kind of crazy there. Yeah. What do you look for in a recovery for AT&T? You look for the news to settle down. This just got, severely punched in the face with their acquisition and everything. You're going to let that play out. You're not going to do anything until then. You're right about $29 a share, which is where it was expected to be. Where they priced it at. So you're going to hang out tight. I don't think there's any reason to do anything or buy shares in AT&T right now. Not only that, what are you buying it for, right? You're not looking at it in the same dividend eyes that you normally would there. So I would say probably nothing new for AT&T. You want to buy a Tesla. Oh, no, you want to buy a Tesla. So you want to play the May calls there. All right, so you basically are just playing for a couple days. Is that what you're trying to do? Normally I don't do things like that. And you're at the, what was it, 590 calls. So that'll just answer the question. You don't buy, well, first of all, you probably shouldn't be buying calls that are that short in time period. You're not really giving yourself much time to be directionally accurate for the amount you're going to have to pay. The other thing is you don't buy out of the money calls when you think a stock's going to go up. You buy at the money calls. Don't buy out of the money calls. Less probability there is the short answer. Yep. Sorry if I missed any questions there. Oh, wouldn't that be wild? Like, yes, right, Justin, or Andrew. It'd be wild if you found out Warren Buffett or one of his people actually bought any kind of crypto. That would be something. Given how much he's said about that, that's crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, yeah, right. You know what really grinds my gears? No, that's it. I think we've covered everything we need to cover here today. Not too bad. Not too bad. We'll see what tomorrow has in store. You really, if you're looking to tomorrow and going, what do I want? What if you're a bull, what do you want out of the market? You want it higher. You want it, we don't have to be like significantly higher. You just want a strong day. Even give it a 0.5%. You want a 0.5% that stays at the 0.5%. See, what we've been seeing is we've been seeing the sell-off and little attempts at a bounce, but we're not getting anything significant. You want now a strong start to the day that this holds near those highs. That would help you believe that all of a sudden this is not going to be a lower high. If tomorrow is more of the same of today and the day before, where we're selling, bounce up, that bounce is met with selling, I think you're going to see people start to throw in the towel little by little. If we get a day that closes near the lows, not a good sign in the short term, unless you want to pull back or something, then that would be a whole different thing. Yep. I love it. No, I don't think puts. You're not gonna sell puts there, especially with the 2 days left. That doesn't make sense to do that. You would just be buying at the money calls, right? Your idea is that you think you will see the stock above 390 or 590 in the next 2 days. So you don't want to bet that it gets there. You want to bet that where it goes from to there is how you make your profit. And also you're going to at least have the greatest amount of return on your on the change in the option price versus if you buy out of the money calls like 590 or something. Plus you have 2 days, man. Why 2 days? What's the difference between going 2 or 7 or what 10? Right? Go 10. Go a little further. Give yourself a little bit of time. It's not going to cost you that much more. And then of course calculate your return on capital between doing the 2 day and doing the 9 day or whatever it is. What's the return on capital difference? Probably very small, right? Very, very small difference there. So take more time if you can get it. My thoughts anyways. Yep. All right. Hey, I'll wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys hanging out for the day. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again. And if you hit the subscribe button or share this with a friend or something, that's cool. We want to continue to grow. We want to obviously be in front of you as much as possible. So let people know that you're watching. I appreciate it. And hey, have a great rest of your day. See ya.